to start on the 2nd of April to the 8th of April 2024. Now, into the bulletin, President Museveni has said people who contribute to the development of the society should be remembered and appreciated. The president made the remarks during the Elders Mentorship Leadership Awards Luncheon 2024 held at State House in Entebbe.
Late Jacob Olanya. May we clap for that.
If you follow what we have been saying, the country will move very, very fast because we have got everything here. But the main problem has been what is to be done and why. You find people doing things which are not answering that question. What is the correct thing to do? We have told you commercialization of agriculture.
The spotlight is on Speaker Jacob Olanya, but within that same spotlight are people who personify those qualities that made him to be a celebrated figure. In reality, we are celebrating the potential of Jacob Olanya. I don't think we got the best of him, and that's why the nation mourned.
As you mentor the young people, it is very important that you get this story of the human race so that they get it clear and know where we belong. I think the starting point in mentoring, you must get an accurate understanding of the human story, of society and nature.
The theme of today's ceremony resonates very well with what you are known for in the African Union, i.e., the champion of integration.
Mr. Odrek Rwabogo and his group for remembering to do this and following it up. I normally support them, but they are the ones who thought of the idea and pushed it. So I really thank them, because if you don't recognize people who do well, then you let down society. Because if the ones who do well are not remembered and appreciated, you may create a situation where people don't bother.
Let me also to thank you for standing with the family of the late Jacob Olanya, both while he was still alive and when he passed on. Our father's legacy is one of integrity, of reconciliation, of institutionalism, of Ubuntu, and of family.
Okay. Can we make this quick, people? Huh? Mr. President, thank you for allowing me to stand for long. I'm reading the next one, and then we'll be done. The next set of people to give, I'll mention the person who will. Congratulations, Moses Matovu. Your Excellency, then you resume your seats. Huh? Those who received awards only. If you just make your way forward. I read and resume my seat. The next one is a distinguished scholar and educator who made good contribution in the field of education. Thank you. Congratulations, all of you. Thank you, Mr. President, for the picture. Let's resume our seats.
Well, those were the mentorship awards. Now into the First Lady's Press Unit. The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has thanked the European Union and its member states for the new Gender for Development program in Uganda and for their support of government's endeavors in the education sector. The EU funded the G4DU program aims to support education with a focus on adolescent girls, eliminate gender-based violence, and promote sexual and reproductive health.
The EU-funded G4DU program aims to support education with a focus on adolescent girls, eliminate gender-based violence, and promote sexual and reproductive health. This builds on the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative, which was launched in 2020 by His Excellency President Museveni. The program will be implemented by UNICEF, Enabel, and KFW in approximately 200 primary and secondary schools located in selected districts from 3 sub-regions, Acholi, Lango, and West Nile. Mrs. Museveni said that having the G4DU program well laid out would be very helpful so that all stakeholders are conversant with what exactly is going to happen in the 200 unselected schools.
How many schools, therefore, will be where, which ones are for refugees alone and which ones are for refugee hosting communities, so that all of us are very clear where this program is going, and when we need to monitor, we know where to go. So it will be very, very helpful for us at the ministry, and we can have monitoring groups to continue to go in and out to know what is happening at any one time. We are building a global community that must really be able to work together, to depend on each other, and to trust each other, so that when we say we are going to do this, we do it. We don't talk about it, plan it, write papers, do everything, and then for a reason that shouldn't really be a problem, stop a project like that. So I am hoping that we will hear some very good news in the very near future about GPE.
In his submission, EU Ambassador Jean Sadek stated that G4DU program is a Team Europe initiative where the European Union and its member states pool their resources for greater impact and coordination.
The G4DU will address in a comprehensive manner some of the key determinants to adolescents' girls' education and their transition from primary to secondary, including water and sanitation infrastructures in school, quality of education, life skills training, and solutions to address financial barriers for girls' transition to secondary.
UNICEF will receive a little bit over 18 million euros, which is probably around $20 million. And it will allow us to continue our partnership with your ministry in 2 important areas, all of them related to the adolescents, girls and boys. The first area is the retention of enrollment for both boys and girls, but with more focus on adolescent girls. So we want to see girls completing a full cycle of 7 years of primary education and continuing to at least S4.
The G4DU program will be partially implemented by Enabel, and additional funding from Belgium will also support schools in the Rwenzori and Busoga regions. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, as we all know, Easter is just around the corner, and the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, and the First Lady and also Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, will be spending the Easter holidays at their country home in Rakitura. Those are some of the pictures of their takeoff to Rakitura. We hope you too, dear viewer, enjoy your Easter holiday. Now, moving ahead, a section of Banyarwanda community living in Uganda under their council for Bavandimwe have petitioned the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Anita Mong, protesting against what they term as segregation and violations of citizenship rights in Uganda.
Smartly dressed in black and white, this is how members of the Council for Bavandimwe made their way to Parliament of Uganda. They were at Parliament to meet the Speaker, Right Honourable Anita Mong, to present a petition containing a raft of grievances.
You're almost welcome.
Organized as a tribe in Uganda, as per the 1994 Constitution. But for the last 5-7 years, life has become practically impossible for us in Uganda.
According to the Council's chairperson, Frank Gashumba, although the 1994 Constitution gazettes them as citizens of Uganda, this has not been practically implemented.
Our people, day in, day out, thousands of Ugandans are being denied national IDs every day. They are being denied passports. And those who have passports, old passports, if they go to internal affairs for renewal of them, they are denied the renewal of them.
I feel what you're saying. Because first of all, the discrimination that you're talking about, whether you are attached to Rwanda or not attached to Rwanda, you still remain a citizen of government of Uganda.
Yes.
And you have all that freedom.
Yes.
You have a freedom of speech, a freedom to get to do anything.
The group claims the such withdrawal of rights is hurting both communities living in Uganda and abroad.
When you are denied a national ID, economically you are crippled. For example, you cannot have a SIM card in your name unless you have a national ID. You cannot transfer land unless you have a national ID. And many of these universities in Uganda now, if you're Ugandan, you must produce a national ID.
They said they have no attachment to Rwanda other than having a relationship in name wording and pronunciation.
If it is a security issue, we can also be notified. But somebody like from Chiboga, chairpersons we have grown up with in my villages, their sons, daughters cannot access passports.
Madam Speaker, the people I represent here, these are 100% Ugandans. They don't have an attachment to a country called Rwanda. They are Ugandans 100%.
Because these people have nowhere to go, they are here, they can't go away. And what I got, Madam Speaker, last week I had a Muganda calling me because he married a Banyarwanda, was also denied the passport.
Speaker Anita Mong pledged to pay attention to this matter.
Every after 5 years, there are elections in Uganda. The same people that are denied national IDs and passports, they are allowed to vote in elections. During the elections, they are Ugandans. After elections, they cease to be Ugandans.
We are going to do two things. The first one is we are going to write to these ministries, each of them,
Yes.
as we ask the two to bring the petition on the floor.
Yes.
But first, we are going to write to the Minister of Internal Affairs,
Yes, ma'am.
on these issues. Because if you don't have an identity card, you cannot even open a company.
As Speaker Among promises to send a petition to the relevant committees of the House, all the concerned parties will be invited at an appropriate time to shed more light on this matter. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you very much.
Now, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has hailed Mulago Hospital for specialized services offered to patients. Nabanja was speaking at Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital, where her daughter, Fatina Nakasumba, successfully underwent a cesarean birth.
Fatima Nakasumba, the daughter to the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, successfully gave birth to a bouncing baby girl through cesarean section at Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital. While visiting her daughter, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja lauded President Yoweri Museveni for establishing a world-class hospital to address women's concerns.
Specialized and neonatal hospital in this country. This hospital is a specialized hospital dealing with women issues and the very young babies. As you see, both mommy and baby are very happy. And then the Honorable Prime Minister has gotten another title. Jaja. The CV is becoming bigger and bigger, the grandmother.
The big grandmother.
So we are very happy and privileged. We thank the administration of this country, the administration of this hospital for the opportunity they've given us to perform such services.
Nabanja hailed Mulago Hospital staff for their dedicated services offered to the country. She says Uganda has professional health workers who are trustworthy. The Member of Parliament for the East African Legislative Assembly, Rose Akol, who was also at Mulago for the same service, said Mulago meets all the required health standards in the region, especially in management of mothers.
I would say it's the best in East Africa because it has all the facilities and it has all the experts are here in this hospital. In fact, when other hospitals fail, however good they are, they still refer you. They refer you now to this hospital.
Mothers, Dr. Lawrence Kaziwo is one of the consultant obstetricians and gynecologists at Mulago Women and Neonatal Hospital.
Unity, we thank the Lord who has enabled our daughter, your daughter, to give birth from this prestigious institution that is in Mulago Specialized National Hospital. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Fatima Nakasumba, on giving birth to your lovely, bouncing baby girl.
Mulago Specialized Women Hospital has capacity of 450 beds, a 41-bed capacity for the intensive care unit, a 60-bed neonatal unit, with the 20 kangaroo mother units. It also offers services like the IVF at the subsidized cost.
Congratulations, Fatina. Now, the Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Simogedede, has called on Christians to reconcile with themselves in this time of resurrection of Jesus Christ, behave well for others who are struggling with sin to see the light through them, while setting off Christians who were to participate in the public way of the cross from Lubaga Cathedral Church. The Archbishop Simogedede said people in churches receive teachings of love, but they do not put it in practice.
Christians from Rubaga Cathedral Church, St. James Mengo Chisenyi Church of Uganda, Rubaga Hospital Nursing School, Busega Catholic Parish, All Saints Church of Uganda, Mutundwe, St. Charles Rwanga Catholic Parish, Mutundwe, and Natete Church of Uganda have participated in the public way of the cross, an activity conducted on Good Friday to emulate Jesus' suffering before he was crucified.
Right from this scene, we are called to reconstruct the dignity and image of every human person, create the image of God, and we not against what God has spoken.
Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogerere, set off the team that included members of parliament representing people of Kampala and the state minister for Kampala, Chova Togabye, at Rubaga Cathedral Church early Friday morning.
One another and forgiving one another. If one has a grievance against another, as the Lord has forgiven you, you must also do. And all this put on love. That is the bond of perfection.
The day's theme was, "You shall love the Lord your God and your neighbor as yourself," which scriptures guided the prayers and journey of the Christians in the public way of the cross.
These three, do you think, was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber? He said, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise."
Christians moved as they sang songs of meditation while reciting different prayers. They also made several stoppings, including this one at Rubaga Road. Chisenyi Market was one of the places where these Christians passed, and businessmen here got a chance to be part of this important event. One of the celebrity priests who also participated in this activity, Father Anthony Musala, explains the significance of carrying and exchanging the cross with different people.
We need to reach out to those and share what we have, and really not just be so selfish. And that's what it means to love. That's what it means to come to the cross.
As per the day's schedule, the team arrived at Old Kampala Secondary School playground shortly after 10 a.m. and was welcomed by other clergy. Other teams that participated came from All Saints and Namirembe Cathedral.
From Rubaga Cathedral and all the pilgrims, you are most welcome.
I'm Nafka Farida and Mike Bakablindi in Kampala.
Christians have been urged to emulate Jesus Christ's ways and never to lose hope, no matter what situation they go through. This message was communicated to Ugandans by different preachers at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero, as they conducted the Way of the Cross.
Good Friday is celebrated by Christians worldwide as they remember the day Jesus was tortured and crucified on the cross at Calvary with the aim to save humanity from internal domination. Like it has always been a norm in Uganda, Christians gathered in big numbers to commemorate that day, commonly known as the War of the Cross, to emulate Jesus' suffering. At All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero, His Grace, Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, the Archbishop of Church of Uganda, was the main celebrant and worker, and was joined by other clergy and Christians. As they continued in prayer, they were also joined by the people on the streets of Kampala.
Yesu nkuwadde edduuka lyange lino, nkuwadde wano wenkolera, nkuwadde amaka gange, nkuwadde buli kintu kyonna.
In his sermon, Archbishop Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu urged Ugandans to use this day to emulate Jesus' way of being faithful and hopeful in their lives.
Tujjukira Katonda bwe yayagala ensi bw'ati n'okuwaayo n'awaayo omwana we yazaalibwa omu yekka, buli muntu yenna amukkiriza alema okubula naye abeere n'obulamu obutaggwaawo. Olunaku olw'okuleka obubbi, olunaku olw'okuleka kuloza mu butemu, olunaku olw'okulwanyisa enguzi, olunaku luno nga tudde obujja nga tuwayo obulamu bwaffe eri Mukama waffe Yesu.
Due to the numbers and to avoid the would-be circumstances, traffic officers were seen doing their best to control traffic, or that some instances, the stopovers caused the jam on the streets. To those who joined in prayers on the streets of Kampala, especially around Chiseka Market, had this to say about Good Friday.
Yesu we yatufiirira olw'ebibi byaffe byonna ku musalaba, byagenda n'omusalaba.
Saawa eno tujjukira olunaku era tujjaguza nti takyali ku musalaba guno,
era olaba taliiko nzikiriza nti bw'oba okkiririza mu Yesu oba muntu wanjawulo nnyo.
N'abeerawo ku lwaffe era yafa olw'okubeera ffe abantu lwaffe olw'okubonaabona lwaffe ffe tubeerewo nga tukyali balamu.
Kisinga okumalamu amaanyi nga ekkulu ly'omusalaba litambuzibwa naye ng'eggwanga lyaffe teritambula bulungi. Ndabira ddala obukuusa obuli mu bannabyabufuzi nga kintu kibi nnyo eri ensi eno. Baali badde batwala ekyokulabirako ekya Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo kye yakola n'atufiira ku musaalaba.
As the war of the cross continued, Archbishop Kazimba further encouraged Christians to pray for the country against negative vices such as corruption, murders and land grabbing.
Pray for Kampala. This is not just a team thing. It's a time for reflection, for us to think of our lives and the Lord Jesus who came to save us.
Among those who led the way of the cross was Reverend Rebecca Nyegenye, who prayed for peace in the country.
Mukama tuyazamanyiza abantu betwagala kata ne tukola ebitasaana ekibuga kyaffe ne tukikyusa ne kirabika ng'ekitaliimu bantu naye Mukama tukwebaza nti olunaku lwa leero otuyita.
The team later joined those at Old Kampala Playground for the main War of the Cross celebrations. The War of the Cross for 2024 was celebrated another theme: you shall love the Lord your God and your neighbor as yourself. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Deborah Namamonde. Now, as we move on over to Namungona, His Eminence Metropolitan Jeremy Mzee, the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church of Uganda, has emphasized the importance of sacrificial love among Christians, stating it is a divine commandment, speaking to the media at their church premises before leading believers into the Way of the Cross procession to Old Kampala.
The Way of the Cross procession, observed annually on Good Friday, commemorates the Passion and Crucifixion of Jesus Christ. His Eminence Metropolitan Jeremy Mzee, the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church of Uganda, emphasized the need for Christians to emulate acts of goodwill and love, reflecting on God's love for humanity.
How the Church insists from the summary of the Ten Commandments that you need to love God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your heart. But that is not enough if you're a human being. You have to love your brother who is also created in the image of God. If we do that, even the peace I'm talking about comes automatically.
He also expressed gratitude to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for fostering a peaceful environment in Uganda.
Use this opportunity to extend my thanks to His Excellency, the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for whatever he is doing for the Ugandans, and in particular for doing his best so that we have the peace we have. I know from here we'll be walking to the center called Kampala, where to meet with my brother. But I believe that on the way will not face any disturbance. That is his contribution. That there is that peace we are enjoying.
The 2-kilometer procession, joined by Anglicans, Catholics, and Orthodox Christians, saw believers singing hymns and reflecting on their faith, remembering the crucifixion of Jesus. The procession concluded at Old Kampala Secondary School Playground.
Christ, when he went at Calvary carrying the cross, Kitaffe Mukatonda, Executive Secretary akutikula omusalaba. Tusase nnyo okubalaba bannaffe from Namungona.
This ecumenical event, organized by Uganda Joint Christian Council, highlights the unity of Christians from different denominations in sharing the message of the cross. Justin Nakami in Namungona, Kampala.
Welcome back, Justin from Namongona. Now, the Uganda Joint Christian Council has warned government and public servants against acts of corruption, which they say negatively impact all areas of the economy and hinders the development of the nation. During an ecumenical prayer session at Old Kampala SS grounds, leaders from UJCC spoke against the selfish behavior.
And the Joint Christian Council is not happy with the ongoing trend of bad leadership that is characterized by corruption, land grabbing, and untamed environmental degradation. Through their joint communique, members of the UJCC hinted on the merits of transparency as a key tenet of good leadership that should be exercised by all, especially those in government.
According to the NRA/NRM 10-point program, corruption was one of the vices to be fought in Uganda. Unfortunately, corruption is persisting and widespread throughout the country.
Let us always show kindness to the suffering, the persecuted, the defenseless people, even when this is going to interfere with our own plans and desires, as it did with Simon of Cyrene.
The chairman, Uganda Episcopal Conference, Bishop Anthony Zwa, asked Christians to examine themselves and their lifestyles as they prepare to celebrate the resurrection of Christ come Sunday.
What is it that I need to lose in my life so that I can rise with him come this coming Easter Sunday? Is it a life of endless pleasure that I need to lose? Is it a life of corruption that I need to lose? Is it a practice of land grabbing that I need to stop? Is it a life that is prone to violence that I need to lose? Is it a life of drugs and too much alcohol that I need to lose? You can add more questions to those which I have posed.
Meanwhile, government has been lauded for the peace and tranquility across the country, citing the ongoing political and civil turmoil in the Gaza Strip, Ukraine, and DRC, among others. The Archbishop, Church of Uganda, Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, asked Ugandans to thank God for this and not take it for granted.
There are many countries which are not going to celebrate Easter in peace. For example, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso, Mali, the Gaza Strip, Ukraine, to mention but a few. We give special thanks to the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the armed forces who are working hard to maintain peace in this country.
Unique about this year's ecumenical prayers, however, was the fact that the men of God unanimously spared time to advocate for environmental conservation to shield Ugandans against the harsh effects of climate change.
We love ourselves so much that we are willing and ready to destroy the environment as long as we get what we want with the total disregard of future posterity.
It is the duty of each one of us to protect our environment. Stop littering.
The issue of land grabbing was highlighted as a factor responsible for widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Leaders want government to deliberately pay attention to the cries of many Ugandans who have been pushed to insolvency by the so-called powerful individuals grabbing their land.
The victims of land grabbing are the poor who cannot defend themselves through hiring lawyers or security to defend their land. May the rights of both the rich and the poor concerning land be protected equally.
Representing government at the event was the State Minister for Kampala, Kabuye Chofatogabye.
Love starts with us, from our homes,
families, neighbors, then the entire community, and eventually the country. I therefore call upon all of you to love your families, just as your government has loved you and gave you capital through the parish development model.
The prayers of this year's Ecumenical Public Way of the Cross were held under the theme, "You shall love the Lord your God and your neighbor as yourself." Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Still in that same regard, traffic in and around Lira city was paralyzed in the morning as Christians observed the Way of the Cross in remembrance of Jesus Christ's suffering. The procession for the Way of the Cross was led by the Bishop of Lira Diocese, Sanctus Lino Wanok.
In their hundreds, believers joined the 15-kilometer spiritual walk within and around the city, putting traffic to a standstill. The procession began at Lira Cathedral Ordination Ground through Tesoba and connected to Juba Road through Boundary Road, then back to church through the Lira Main Street. The joint ecumenical Way of the Cross was attended by Orthodox and Catholic followers led by Lira Diocese Bishop Sanctus Lino Wanok. The procession was guided by North Kyoga police that cautioned the public to stay vigilant, especially during this Easter season.
Mega ka police kunyogwa kuch North Kyoga waro chia ter tutwal memio walk what one duch gina wano kwayo kai botu ene make kupere kere the nearest police station na metik and iniberi.
Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development Betty Amongi, who also joined the procession, urged the politicians to emulate Jesus' character through sacrifice and forgiveness.
In leadership, this shows us that you should not expect that when you have been betrayed by a section of community, you should abandon their cause. We should walk in the path of Jesus, who forgave even those who betrayed him.
Believers had their different experiences of the 40 days of fasting.
My prayer today is that the good Lord should open any blockade that is there, that is blocking the financial obligation to us Christians.
Good Friday is a sacred day for Christians, solemnly recalling the crucifixion and death of Jesus at Calvary. The observance of Jesus' suffering occurs within the Holy Week just before Easter. Eddie Olwa, UBC.
Well, just to let you know, our guest is just within the campuses of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, and we will be engaging him here on set in a short while. But as we continue with other stories, thousands of Christians from different denominations joined the procession of the Way of the Cross to journey in the emulation of Jesus Christ's suffering. Followers from the Roman Anglican and Orthodox churches, led by Godfrey Laum, the Bishop of the Anglican Church in Gulu, joined the holy procession in Gulu City Center.
Led by Godfrey Laum, the Bishop of the Anglican Church in Gulu, followers from Roman Catholic Church, Anglican Church, and Orthodox Church joined together in the processions for the Way of the Cross. The joint Way of the Cross was conducted to demonstrate oneness amongst Christians.
And so this is a time of prayer, a time of reflection, so that we are moved to repent of our sins, because the pain that Jesus went through should have been ours. But because of his love for us, he paid for our sin. The pain he went through was on account of me, on account of the believers. And so friends, this is to move us to reflect on our own journey of faith.
During the procession, Christians were asked to continue praying and repent from their sin and also practice forgiveness.
I urge all the Christians, brothers and sisters, that when we come to walk with our Lord in these persons to the judgment and the death, let us put in our mind the faith. Let us collect all our problems. Let us collect all the sins which we have when we buried it under the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Bishop Godfrey Luhum also tasked Christians across the country to contemplate on their personal transgressions and repent in order to benefit from the Easter season.
The biggest thing that Uganda should pray for is justice, because the Lord Jesus was condemned to die out of injustice. There was no justice at all. There was no reason why Jesus should have been condemned to death. But even then, he accepted to die, because until somebody has paid for the sins, there was no way that we are going to access salvation. So Ugandans must seek justice. But also there are times when we must carry our own cross.
Because this day to me, it is actually more of increasing my faith. I, as a Christian, each day I reflect, where will I be? Where am I going after this life? And it is the reasons as to why I have decided to carry my own cross and follow the footsteps of Jesus.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar! My boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Have you packed more Vitaba jelly and Haba fog? Yes, it will protect your skin from skin rashes. Morbid Papa. It is a new improved Morbid Haba jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a Morbid Haba jelly.
Tell me, kids, the sense? Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fopoto, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Hi Fifi, how are you? I'm fine. Baby, whenever I eat chips and chicken, I feel stomachache, joint pain and body weakness. My dear, go to MX Nutrition Center and learn the best food for your body. And get treatment according to your blood group. Are you sure? Yes.
By the way, do you know your blood group, genotype, and how much you need to exercise? Come to Timex Nutrition Center for professional advice on how to manage your health and immune boosting. At Timex, we treat diseases like diabetes, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, pressure, and many more. For details, find us at our headquarters in Kampala on Nasa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor. We also have a branch in Barara, or call us on 0758 819952 or 0778 288361. Timex, be your own doctor.
Are you planning or in the process of traveling abroad for work? Using irregular channels to find and travel for work abroad often seems cheaper and faster, but you risk being trafficked, mistreated, or forced to do work you did not agree to. Using proper channels is safer, offers more protection, and better access to support services when problems arise. Do not be deceived. Choose the proper channels. Always verify all information before traveling abroad for work by contacting the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, your local district labour office or DSOS office. You can also visit EEMIS website on eemis.mglsd.go.ug. This message is brought to you by the International Labour Organization with support from the Government of Switzerland.
Ebiseera by'okusaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Ono kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu tukalipagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kufunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Ngawunyizi *855*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozesa app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, erunganisibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Attention everyone, the Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective and free of charge and has been approved by World Health Organization and Ministry of Health. This message is from Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
March is the month of film magic as the Uganda Communications Commission brings you the regional film competition. Experience the excitement across Uganda. Northern region in Moroto from the 4th to the 8th of March. Eastern region in Jinja from the 11th to the 15th of March. Central region in Mityana from the 18th to the 22nd of March. Western region in Kasese from the 24th to the 27th of March. Come and watch some of the best films made by your very own creative minds on their way to stardom. Follow and support the different nominees as they battle for top honors in each regional film competition. The winners will walk away with prestigious awards and exciting prizes. The regional film competition is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission, increasing diversity of Ugandan content.
Juku.
Yo, what?
Check the shopping man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, so what?
It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portal project, and now things are moving.
Juku, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are,
but you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty.
What to do? Just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief,
and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that.
The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome to our guest corner once again. We do have some 30 minutes to take you through a dialogue about the mass vaccination campaign that is going to happen from the 2nd to the 8th of April. In studios, I'm already joined by a vaccines expert, and he's all the way here on behalf of the Ministry of Health. He's none other than Dr. Ombeva Malande. We will be engaging with him just in a short while, but first, recently upgraded road infrastructure has changed the faces of the eastern cities of Mbale, Soweto, municipality. Let's have more in this report.
Mbale is one of the oldest cities in eastern Uganda, housing most of the regional government offices. Its strategic location makes it a potential one-stop center trading hub for business operators from Bukedi, Elgon, Busoga and Teso sub-regions. This makes the upgrade of the road infrastructure in the city extremely important.
When we started the projects, we had issues of project affected persons, where you have some people's properties crossing over to some sections of the road corridor. However, through engagements with them, we called for meetings with the local leaders, that's the LOC ones. We have what we call the City Development Forum, which has been very, very cooperative and very, very helpful. We brought the people together, we talked to them about the project, we showed them the designs of the project, but also told them about the positive, impacts of us constructing the roads. And I'm telling you, the people of Mbale responded very, very positively. Those that had their wall fences extending into the road just voluntarily broke their fences down and moved away from the road corridor to allow for the works to move on very smoothly.
It is such cooperation from the community that has seen success in the construction and upgrading of Naboa Road and Cathedral Avenue.
An example that I can give is along this road where we are standing, Kokonjeru Terrace. If you just look this side, on this side, this person just broke their wall and extended off the road corridor, and it allowed for the road works to progress very, very successfully.
Apparently, we have been running 2 contracts concurrently, USMID and Cluster 3. At the same time, Cluster 2. With Cluster 2, that's Naboa Road and Cathedral, we have achieved 100%. We are even completing the LP period and the contractor to hand over the roads by the end of this month. Under Cluster 3, where we are constructing 3.75 kilometers, we have so far at a physical progress of 87, almost completing. So we expect by the end of March, we shall have achieved 100%.
Similar to these milestones are what the people of Busia municipality are expressing gratitude over.
It is now enabling even the people who were persisting on roads to now enter the market, and through that the revenue base is definitely increasing.
The program has improved on the beauty of the town. As you can see, our park, the lights have been raised up so far, the roads are in good shape, and the business are also going very well.
They have just installed the security lights, and the security lights, you know, Busia is not a sleeping town. People work past midnight. So these security lights are helping us in terms of people who move at night, but also people who do business on the streets during night. They are able now to work without being insecure.
Roads like Wanyamaboni, Ntaka, and Busia Secondary School have been rehabilitated and renovated. Amin Sadiq Agele is the mayor for Busia Municipal Council.
But I thank the people of Busia. More so, on Ikaka Road, they accepted to remove the encumbrance on the road without paying them. People of Wanyamaboni Road, they accepted. That's why I say people of Busia Municipal Council, on the first phase of Usmid, they played a big role.
Over 150 kilometers away sits Soroti City, another beneficiary. Just like Mbale, it benefited right from the first phase in 2014. This has seen not only movement improve, but also criminality reduce.
Being an urban center, the issue of insecurity has also been a big challenge. Now, when this project came up with lighting, street lighting, it enabled, first of all, visibility through the cameras has been enabled because now the cameras are now functional. The lighting has enabled the cameras to be functional, and then, but also, now one night can move freely, both day and night, because there's no fear of darkness. So that's why we're saying the project has had a very serious impact.
About 6.2 kilometers of roads were upgraded in Soroti City in the first phase. This came to extent with subsidiary infrastructure in drainage and pedestrian walkways in the next phase. Daniel Christopher Kawesi is the town clerk for Soroti City Council.
The sidewalks have also helped to reduce on the number of accidents, especially with border, and the revenue has also taken an upward trajectory. So as a city, we are very grateful for the project, and we would wish that more money could be added to work on other roads.
This opinion in having more of such projects is shared by other local government leaders. The mayor for Busia Municipal Council and the RCC Soroti City are some of them.
I'm requesting the government of Uganda. Busia is the face of Uganda. And let them say Busia to be the first priority.
We pray that a second phase is reintroduced so that we open more roads and lit more roads so that we have both security assured and also economic activities in the city.
The answers to these pleas lie in the efforts that government has embarked on. It seeks another phase of additional funding to USMID, which, if successful, will run from 2025 to 2030. Henry Okrut, UBC.
very much there, Henry Okurut. Now, as we delve into our interview, like I said before, the Ministry of Health is rolling out a mass vaccination campaign against yellow fever disease. And of course, this mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in around 5 regions. We have Dr. Ombeva Malande, senior consultant. He's also a pediatrician at Mulago Hospital and Makerere University, and then he is a vaccines expert, and he's here on behalf of Ministry of Health. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening, viewers.
In our preamble, briefly, as we were talking back office, we were talking about being a pediatrician, and to me, I've met a lot of doctors. I've spoken to a lot of people, and you don't see that empathy. You don't feel that connection to their career. But the beauty about it, you seem like you're very passionate about what you do. Can we just start with that to break the ice?
Yeah, so I should say that I'm one of the few people who are fortunate to do what I love. There are many people who are practicing trades and careers that they really don't love. You know, they're in for economic reasons, or pressure, or family business. You must run it. By all means, I love being a doctor and being a pediatrician. I love being with the children and playing with them. And so for me, if I could do it all over again, I'd still become a pediatrician.
No,
I had a chance to go to school again.
That's what's so touching for me.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a calling.
Absolutely.
It's a talent from heaven.
Yeah, and I really like it, you know.
Thank you so much for treating our babies. Okay, he's an expert. He's here on behalf of the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Health, and we're going to be delving into the mass vaccination campaign, starting from 2nd to the 8th. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so this particular vaccination campaign, and you see those dates 2nd to 8th, the dates that have been selected specifically to roll out this vaccine in select regions. So we have this yellow fever vaccine that, and most people who've traveled would know that you cannot cross the border without being asked for a yellow fever card or a book. And that is an international requirement. Anywhere in the world, it's now been ratified by the World Health Organization. You cannot move from any country to any country without yellow book. And that's important because yellow fever is a kind of disease that is caused by a virus. The virus is called yellow fever, and it is transmitted by mosquitoes. Now, yellow fever falls in the same family of diseases with Ebola, with Marburg, with Rift Valley fever, with the chikungunya virus and the rest. So you need to understand that yellow fever is such a dangerous disease. The same way you see Ebola is the same way you should see yellow fever. Because people who suffer from yellow fever bleed. Eventually they bleed just like the people who suffer from Ebola. Only that they first turn yellow, the whole body, because the virus affects the liver. That's why they call it yellow fever, from that yellow color. And so the World Health Organization and all countries have ratified this. 192 countries of them, that we must have a card to show that a person has been vaccinated if they are to move from one country
because
to another.
Initially this has been for the travelers.
Thank you.
If you want to travel, that is one of the requirements, and others have been reluctant about it. So the question would be, why now?
Yeah, so now what we have noted is that increasingly we've been having increased outbreaks of these diseases, not just Ebola, but yellow fever. And remember, the mosquito that transmits yellow fever transmits also other diseases that are related to that, like I talked about Marburg and the rest. Now, this particular disease, if only one person is found to have it, that constitutes an outbreak.
Okay.
Just one person who you confirm that they have yellow fever, that constitutes an outbreak. So it's a disease of enormous public health concern, because if one person gets it, the spread is very fast. And the chances of dying are very high.
So we're being
yet
precocious.
Yet we have a vaccine that is very effective, extremely effective vaccine. Long time ago, you needed to get it and then get it after 10 years and after 10 years. Now you no longer need, you just need one shot.
How's that experience for people who have gone through the vaccination?
So now this vaccine is quite safe. We can give it to children as from 9 months up to 60 years of age. So people who are above 60 years don't need to get this vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah, because they above 60 years, it become their body at that point react a little more severely to the vaccine.
Okay.
So all people above 60 are exempted. But there are very few people in the world who are above 60. If we could actually vaccinate the vast majority of people between 9 months and 60 years, then the people who are above 60 won't have anyone to give them the disease. Because the vast majority of those who would have brought the disease to them are immune by virtue of vaccination.
Okay.
And anyone who has received the yellow fever vaccine will tell you the chances of reactions like we see from other vaccines are very few. You don't get those high fevers, sickness, being bedridden for a long time, no.
Okay, so the period of from 2nd to 8th is a starter process.
Thank you so much. So you've actually given it the right word.
Yes.
Yeah. So what the government wants to do is this: we want to make sure that all children in schools, all people who go to churches, in the mosques, in the markets, anyone who is willing to take up this vaccine will be given this vaccine for free.
For free.
Do you know it's been very hard getting the yellow fever vaccine?
True.
People pay 100,000, 150,000, 180,000 to get the vaccine and the book. Now you are going to get this vaccine for free. You will receive a card and you can be able to travel. And this is going to be for the rest of your life. So it's a chance to vaccinate as many people as we can in those regions.
Okay.
Then after that, the vaccine is going to be made available in the routine immunization program, the same way we do the other ones for children.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means from within that period, from 2nd to 8th, people should be vigilant about that.
It's a chance to have as many people as possible get the vaccine, so that we put momentum into this process.
Okay.
So if your child comes from school and tells you I've been given this later, they are saying I need to get yellow fever vaccine, please sign it. Don't protect yourself and not protect your child.
And not protect the child.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like 5 regions wouldn't be enough. You said you had rolled this out previously.
Yeah.
How did people embrace this?
So we rolled out phase 1, and now we are into phase 2.
This is phase 2.
Yeah, and we'll have phase 3.
Okay.
And people ask, why are we not just doing the whole country at the same time? The reason is because the stocks of these vaccines are not very easy to get worldwide. So we first get, the stocks that we can get, because the company that manufactures, and many countries are rolling it out. So the first phase, we did it in August, September last year. We went to Kabarore region, so that's the Toro region, and then we also rolled it out in the Lango region. I remember the minister rolling it out in the Langi region, and then we also gave it out in the Chigezi region. Kabare, all those regions were covered. So now we are going into the second phase.
Okay.
And this second phase, we are covering those districts that
and
you
how
mentioned.
was the report there? How was the turn-up?
I was personally supervising Kabarore region, and the reception was quite good, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a few people who had a few questions, particularly some schools. But what we did is that they are supervisors. So the Ministry of Health is going to dispatch supervisors from the ministry who are trained, who are equipped, and who know about the vaccine. And their duty is to work with the district health teams and the district health management teams to be able to explain this out to anyone who wants to know, to explain this out to the schools, to the churches, and just answer all the questions that you will have on yellow fever vaccine.
Okay, do we have any restrictions and considerations in this?
So that's a good question. Now, there are categories of people who will not get the vaccine.
Okay.
One is people who are allergic to eggs. Now, I'm not talking about people who are not eating eggs because they are dieting. No. The ones who said, me, when I eat eggs, I get nausea, or no, those ones are not allergic. People who are allergic to egg protein are those who, if you eat an egg, they get rashes, they get itchiness, they get, cough or something like that. So the egg produces severe allergies in them. That particular category will not get the vaccine. And the reason is because in the yellow fever vaccine, there's a protein, the egg protein. And the amount of egg protein in them is sufficient enough to trigger an allergy in the person, an allergic response. So those will not get. The second category of people who we are not going to give the vaccine currently are mothers who are pregnant. We will also not give it to mothers who are breastfeeding up to 9 months and below.
So those will come in phase 3?
So that's what will happen is this. So if you are pregnant, you won't be pregnant forever. Once you give birth, you'll be able to get it in the health centers. Because remember, beyond this campaign, the vaccine is going to now be available routinely.
Okay.
Yeah, in all government hospitals. We'll give it the way we give the vaccines for children.
Okay.
So the vaccine is going to be available.
Are you planning on any outreach programs?
Yes. So what we are doing is that
door to door, yeah.
Yeah. So this particular one is, we won't go door to door the way we do polio, but we are going to make it come to very close to where you are, because it is going to be at your church. If you go to church,
I'm
it's
a
going
pastor,
to be at the
and
mosque.
I have a church. Me
Yes.
and my husband, we have a church.
So you can get that.
Okay.
And your members.
Okay.
So in fact, we will be relying a lot on the religious leaders to help us up the numbers. And then we are going to make it available in the markets. So if you don't go to church and you don't go to the mosque, in the market, the vaccine will be there. In the schools, it's going to be available. Where your kids go to school, the vaccine will be made available there. So you can actually go and get it. And if I walk to a school and they're vaccinating, they can actually give me the vaccine.
Okay.
They won't tell me you are not
Even
a
if you're
student.
part of the
Yeah.
school.
Even if you're just passing and you saw them giving the vaccine,
So
you
it's
can
just
be able
like
to get it.
mobile money.
Yeah. And then we are going to have it at health centers as well. At all health centers and health facilities. All of them, health center 2, health center 3, KCCA vaccinations, all those centers are going
And
to
all
have the
these
vaccine.
specialized clinics that can that are qualified.
Yeah,
to
so the
have
ones that are listed immunizing centers, they will all have the vaccine.
Okay.
So the vaccine is going to be available from 2nd. Just as you come into these Easter festivities, you'll be able, and you'll have all those days, 2nd to 8th, to be able to get the vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we worry of anything?
Yeah, so that's a good question. If there is anybody who does not know that they have allergy to eggs, let's say, and then they get the vaccine, so the doctors are going to be on hand to be able to give you an injection that brings down the reaction.
Okay.
When we were in Kabarore, we found the vaccine was generally safe, even in the schools where we administered it here, and in the communities. I was quite happy when I went there. You know, I'm an Arsenal fan, so we were having an Arsenal fans festival when I went to Fort. I reached there and I found the guys that organized a celebration. Yeah, they do that a lot, an Arsenal fans festival. And then we used that opportunity to mobilize the people around, and we got very many people to get vaccinated. We donated blood. So
Wow.
initiatives like this can be quite good. All those who attended that and we had a whole caravan riding through the city, and people coming and getting vaccinated, donating blood, and then after that we went for Nyamachoma and celebrated, late into the night.
Very interesting.
So that was quite nice. So initiatives like those can help us, whether they are churches, whether they are groups, and tell everyone, tell your women groups, tell your WhatsApp groups, let this message go out that you don't need to pay for yellow fever vaccine anymore and the book anymore.
But then that
You can
means
now get it
that
for
those
free.
that are already vaccinated do not have to come for the vaccine.
Excellent question. Now remember, before 2016, 2017, yellow fever vaccine you used to get, and you get again after 10 years. So now anybody who got vaccinated in that period actually does not need to get the vaccine. I'm not talking about those who bought books. There are few people who go and buy a book and then travel out of the country and don't get the injection. And they've reminded themselves progressively that I got vaccinated. Yeah, now they've forgotten that they were not. A lie told 100 times it becomes truth. You need to go get the vaccine. Maybe that time you feared money. You feared I didn't have the money so I could get the book easily. Now you can actually go get the vaccine and then keep your book knowing that you are vaccinated. Now those who are vaccinated and thought that they needed to get again because it was expiring in 10 years, you can go get. Anybody who is immune already can get the vaccine. It won't harm you.
So it's the shelf time for the vaccine is 10 years.
So that is what it used to be. Now we have removed that requirement and we say it's for life.
It's for life.
Yeah, once you get it now, you will not need to get another booster.
But those that have their 10 years expired,
They can
now
go get.
revaccinate.
Yeah, they can go and revaccinate, and then they'll be protected for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you working with Ministry of Health, and in the area of your description, it shows that you're a vaccines expert. What is your take on vaccines?
So I need to say this, and this is an important question because someone asked me that why are we giving so many vaccines and so many campaigns these days? I mean, why don't, and there are people who've actually told me, I've never met a person with yellow fever. Why are you giving me the vaccine? And the point I want to say is this: prevention is better than cure.
True.
Better to prevent. I mean, they say, it's not that you're a coward. So the point is that we can only prevent these diseases using vaccines because vaccines are given to healthy people. They're not given to sick people. Actually, if you have a fever, don't get the vaccine. Yeah, these vaccines that are coming next week. If you are sick, you're admitted in hospital. Yes.
Because some people have malaria and they've not checked.
So we are not even going to go to the sick in the hospital admitted and vaccinate them. No. Vaccines are not for sick people. So if you are sick, first get treated and then you'll get the vaccine. If you are having a fever, don't get the vaccine. Treat the fever. You'll have enough days between 2nd and 8th to be able to get the vaccine. And this vaccine is going to now be available freely. So only those particular categorizations will not get, and the doctors who give the vaccine will actually ask you, you have a fever, are you sick? Yeah. And now, or are you pregnant or something like that?
Okay.
So, but remember that we are not going to vaccinate people who are sick. Only people who are okay can be vaccinated.
Okay, now probably now my question would be, you are now doing the campaign right now, but
Yes,
we are
yes.
a national broadcaster, and of course this is our mandate to be able to tell the audience, to tell the public, you know, what's to come or what's happening. But are you doing more awareness, not just with UBC? Have you rolled out this campaign seriously?
Brilliant question. So yesterday I was in Kayunga trying to, you know, up the message around this vaccine. What the Ministry of Health does is this. It tells the people, we are bringing you the vaccine. Then the ministry organizes people from the central, from the Ministry of Health. It trains supervisors, equips them with the information, and sends them to the districts. And the role of these supervisors is to do two important things. One is to make sure that the vaccines have arrived, and the injections and the needles and the consumables, the stocks that are required to run the campaign, but secondly, to educate, to mobilize. So we are going to have in every district of the targeted districts, there will be messages on radio talk shows, there will be messages on these communities, loudspeakers that go around in markets. That message is going to be there. We are relying on church leaders. Please pass the message, pass the message. I'm quite happy because today some children in the hospital told me their teacher told them they are going to be vaccinated. On Tuesday they are going to be injected. So they know. The teachers have already started passing the message. And KCC has circulated
but
letters.
Even for us to pass this message, maybe in my own shoes, now I understand why we need to vaccinate. But there should be a niche in the messaging, criteria, how you're going to put it out there. People need to embrace this. We don't just like force them. You need to vaccinate. Tell the children. And there has to be a catchy,
Message,
way of promoting this so that people embrace it.
And you make a good point, because today someone asked me a question that left me thinking. A lady who I told about this vaccine told me, why don't you bring the malaria vaccine first? I hear in Kenya there is malaria vaccine. And instead of bringing us malaria
because
vaccine...
right now it's malaria that is rampant.
Yeah, why instead of bringing us malaria, you're bringing us yellow fever.
So people are like, why yellow fever? Now,
And
what's
so
happening?
It showed me two things. One, it showed me that what we consider a burden, we are more likely to embrace protection about it. Not like what happened during COVID days. The fear for COVID was a lot, and we all were going for the vaccine. People were looking for it all over. And the thing is that, okay, the malaria vaccine, by the way, is going to come next year. I should say that that's very good news for Uganda, because they're just like the way Kenya has rolled out, we are going to have it next year. I know malaria is a big problem and people really want the vaccine. Yeah, but yellow fever is equally a deadly disease. The same mosquito that transmits malaria transmits yellow fever. Yeah, and you just never know when it will come about. So my point is this: these vaccines are safe. If there is one reason, if there is one motivation for us to embrace vaccines, it's the experience with COVID. Without the vaccines, we would not be here. We would all be in masks. But now that we are vaccinated, we can move around. And COVID killed people. We cannot ignore that. Very many people died. In Europe and US, very many died. That was a good example. A second example, measles. Do you know that measles actually used to kill so many children that any child who survived measles was called born again? In fact, among the Kikuyu culture in Kenya, you were never allowed to count your kids unless they first suffered measles. You also have 10 kids. If they've not suffered measles, they may all die when the outbreak comes. So the gains around those vaccines and polio have shown that vaccines are important.
Maybe the message should be around the vaccinations that we already have. The measles, so that this is an add in onto the other vaccinations that we have.
And this particular one is coming at 9 months and onwards. And we need it. You never know. Your child may get a scholarship to go and study outside the country. Yourself, you may want to go for a tour. You need to get them vaccinated. Why should you go and pay for this when you can get this vaccine for free? We've been struggling to pay for it. Vaccine no you look around, you cannot get it. Card to you don't have the money to pay. The government has now provided it all for free.
And it's no longer a pinch. Now, I think you should also, in the area of creating awareness, you should also engage with social media. Social media right now is the in thing. Do a little bit of campaign, have people do a TikTok. I vaccinated and now I'm safe and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we can come up with a campaign. And that, because now it is mass.
Take it on board,
yes, because it is now mass vaccination. You need everyone to get involved. You need people to pitch in and love it and embrace it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's very good information. I think we are going to take it up at the level of the ministry and communication and just
and you can call in. You can call me in when it comes to social media.
And you can help us to, pass this message. I love that, because at the end of the day, the more the people who get this message and get it correctly, the better. Men have been fearing to take this vaccine because they say it is going to make them...
the guy who asked you, I've never seen any patient with yellow fever.
No, men are even fearing that it will make them perform poorly in their home duties, as a man in the home.
Is there any scientific reality on that?
No, there's no correlation. If you are not rising to the occasion where, what was agenda, you are playing 45 minutes and they tell you get out of the pitch. You need to go see a doctor.
Dr. Omave.
Yeah, because those who say, since I got this vaccine,
things have gone bizarre.
Rise to the occasion so well. No, those ones, we need to find your problem and help you. It's not the yellow fever vaccine.
But now you're saying it is safe. We shouldn't have any after effect.
Neither does it increase. Don't say that since I got the vaccine, I'm now performing so well. No.
Doctor.
Just go to the gym. The vaccine doesn't increase that as well.
Doctor, listen. So it is practically safe.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about any side effects.
You may get a bit of pain at the site where they're injecting. Yeah. And maybe a slight swelling. That's all. Yeah, a bit of fever, not much. It's actually, if you compare it with the vaccines that we give children who get high fevers at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks, this one is very safe.
So doesn't it interrupt with other vaccinations vaccines that are?
No, it doesn't. And remember, we're giving it at 9 months. Majority of the vaccines we give them at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. This one is coming at 9 months onwards. Like now for an adult, if you get it now, the last vaccine you got maybe was COVID 4 years ago. So this one is, let's embrace it. Let's get the cards. Let's protect our country. The other day we had an Ebola outbreak and Kasanda, Mubende and the neighboring districts were locked. We don't want that again. Now remember, if we find a case in Kampala of yellow fever, the president will lock
the city.
Yeah.
So now you have,
let's protect ourselves.
Now you have a niche. You have how you can you put out the message. We want to see adverts on our very own UBC.
I think we'll work on that. Yeah.
Yes, you tell them we don't want to get into the same trouble we had when COVID-19 came. So we are being proactive.
And COVID has shown us that vaccines can work. They can save the world. There are people, we lost friends, we lost relatives, we lost what. But those of us who got the vaccine, by God's grace, we survived. We want to protect everyone.
Sure.
Because
Sibuti. I like the way you say that. Okay, Sibuti. So we want to see the Ministry of Health, working hand in hand with different, government bodies, with different individuals, with different consultants, like they're doing with you, to make this thing really mass and to be, proactive and very active in this campaign. So
one of the things I've liked about this is how other organs of state and community have embraced this vaccine. For example, KCCA, and it has written letters. We have community leaders, we have cultural leaders, and they've really helped us. The kings, the communities, the elders, they've really supported us in sending this message. And I'm using this opportunity to call upon them. Cultural leaders, the kings and their cabinets and their prime ministers. I'm requesting them, please, let's send this message out. Yeah, and like in Kampala, we are quite lucky. As we go for the Kawakaran, we shall also be there with our vaccine. Giving it out, So as we come to run for this particular very, very iconic run, let's also come and get our vaccine.
You need to come to us. We organize a campaign, an advert, and we put it out there so that it runs. And that advert should include all that calling. We call the leaders, we call the cultural, spiritual leaders to come and join in hands.
And these celebs, these musicians.
Yes.
As people come to you,
you can even have them come in and sing. Yeah, they can sing.
Let's embrace the vaccine.
Yeah, true.
We need them to help us. We need this message to go as far as it can go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ombave.
Yeah, thank you.
Ombeva.
Yes.
You told me you love it when the sick
the
patients,
kids come to
they pronounce it
the
differently.
Clinic, yeah, Sumbeva, Subande, Ovande, Ombiva, Ombaba. It's Ombeva.
So it's Ombeva Malanda, Senior Consultant, Pediatrician at Malaga Hospital, Makerere University, and he is a vaccines expert. He's here on behalf of Ministry of Health. Thank you so much for coming in on such a short notice, and thank you for that detailed information on yellow fever vaccination. And we hope the campaign runs out very well.
Next week, second,
yes, we will rush in to get vaccinated. For now, we know the importance, and the age that should be vaccinated is from 9 months. Initially, I thought it's 1 year to 60 years.
Yeah, so it's 1 year to 60 years, but if a child is 9 months, don't lock them out.
Okay, so 9 months to 60 years. Those specifications, I think, will be broadcasted on UBC TV, and we'll also have that probably on the website of the Ministry of Health, just to give you details of the rolling out of all this campaign. Well, we're going to run out. Thank you so much for being with us from the very moment we started the news at 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock.